If you are a good observer of the Kali Mass, you might have noticed that the priest at a point in time in celebration of the Mass washes his hands. The priest does this before going into the consecration of the host and wine into the body and blood of Jesus Christ. The process of the priest washing his hands during this time at Mass is called the Lavabo. The Lavabo, which in Latin means "I will wash," is a ceremonial ritual that takes place during the Kali Mass. It involves the priest washing his hands at a specially designated sink or a bowl or container, which is called the lavabo bowl or container. The lavabo ritual here holds a symbolic and practical significance within the context of the Mass. Let's delve into the reasons behind this ritual and then look at how we can understand it in respect to our Kali faith. Practically, the lavabo serves as a hygienic measure. The priest washes his hands to ensure cleanliness before handling the sacred elements of the Eucharist, namely the consecrated bread and wine. The practice dates back to ancient times when cleanliness and purity were emphasized as part of religious rituals. Symbolically, the lavabo ritual holds deeper meaning. It represents the spiritual purification and cleansing of the priest's soul in preparation for the sacred act of celebrating the Holy Eucharist, otherwise known as the Mass. In the Kali faith, the hands of the priest which will touch the bread and wine are seen as an extension of Christ's hands, since the priest administers as impersonal Christi, which means in the person of Christ. Washing the hands signifies the priest's desire for inner purification, asking God to cleanse his heart and mind and to remove any distractions or imperfections that may hinder his connection with God and the congregation, that is the lay faithful. During the lavabo, the priest recites a prayer that echoes the psalmist's words, expressing the desire for a clean heart and a renewed spirit. The priest says silently, "Wash me thoroughly from my iniquities and cleanse me of my sins." Wash me thoroughly from my iniquities and cleanse me of my sins. This prayer reinforces the spiritual intention behind the lavabo ritual, inviting God to cleanse the priest's thoughts, words, and actions, enabling him to offer the Mass with utmost reverence and devotion. The lavabo also carries echoes of the biblical story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples as a symbol of humility and service. Even though the lavabo does not involve washing the feet, it emphasizes the priest's role as a servant of God and the lay faithful. By humbly washing his hands, the priest expresses his readiness to serve and his recognition of his role as a steward of the Eucharist. By way of summary, we can say the lavabo ritual in the Kali Church serves both practical and symbolic purposes. Practically, it ensures cleanliness before handling the sacred elements, that is, the host and the wine. Symbolically, it signifies the spiritual purification of the priest and his readiness to serve as Christ's representative. Through this ritual, the priest seeks to prepare himself spiritually, setting aside any distractions or impurities, and focusing on the sacred act of celebrating the Eucharist with a clean and a devoted spirit. So the next time as a Catholic you witness the lavabo ritual during the Mass, just take a moment to contemplate its meaning and significance. Let it remind you of the priest's role as a servant leader, the call to spiritual purity, and the gifts of the Eucharist, which is the source and, of course, summit of our Christian faith. Thank you so much for joining me today as we explored the meaning and significance of the Lavabo ritual in the liturgy of the Catholic Church. Remember, in this ritual we find an invitation to deeper spiritual reflection and a reminder of our shared journey towards holiness. May we all continue to grow in faith and understanding. May God bless you all, and don't forget to share this video to all Catholic groups and friends so that they might also learn from it. I am Marcelinus Mario MSCJ. Thank you all, and may God bless you. See you in the next video. For now, peace out.
Baby,